In recent weeks, the Christian broadcasting world has been shaken by a story that blends faith, family, leadership, and controversy into one of the most talked about media crises in modern religious television. At the center of this unfolding drama is Jonathan Lamb, a British journalist, author, and longtime figure within Daystar television network, and his mother, Joni Lamb, the network's president and co-founder. What began as internal concerns has now evolved into a public reckoning that has captured the attention of viewers, religious leaders, and media analysts worldwide. Daystar TV, founded in 1997 by Joni Lamb and her late husband Marcus Lamb, has long positioned itself as one of the most influential Christian television networks globally. With millions of viewers and a reputation built on faith-centered programming, Daystar has historically emphasized unity, transparency, and moral leadership. However, the death of Marcus Lamb in November 2021 due to complications from COVID-19 marked a turning point for the organization. Leadership transitioned fully to Joni Lamb, a move that, while expected, also altered internal dynamics within the network and the Lamb family itself. Jonathan Lamb, who had worked within Daystar and maintained a public profile as a writer and communicator, has since come forward alongside his wife, Susie Lamb, raising serious allegations concerning governance, accountability, and internal handling of sensitive matters at the network. Their claims, shared through video statements and interviews, suggest that efforts to seek answers were met with resistance, silence, and ultimately termination from the organization. These developments have sparked intense debate. Is this a case of whistleblowing within a powerful religious institution, or a deeply personal family conflict playing out on a public stage? Compounding the situation is the broader fallout within Daystar itself. Reports indicate that Ray Comfort became the 18th programmer to leave Daystar TV, signaling potential instability or dissatisfaction among contributors. Meanwhile, law enforcement authorities in Colleyville, Texas, have confirmed that an investigation related to the allegations has been reopened, adding a legal dimension to what was once considered a private family dispute. As the story continues to unfold, questions loom large. Who is Jonathan Lamb beyond the headlines? Why has this conflict escalated so dramatically? And what does it mean for Daystar TV's future, credibility, and mission? To understand the significance of this moment, it is essential to examine the details, the statements made, and the broader implications for faith-based media in an era of heightened scrutiny. Jonathan Lamb's emergence into the spotlight did not happen overnight. Known primarily as a journalist and author with a thoughtful, investigative approach, Jonathan had largely operated behind the scenes at Daystar. According to his public statements, the turning point came on January 7, 2023, when he claimed to have felt a strong personal and spiritual prompting to review security footage at Daystar's facilities. What he says he discovered led him and his wife to seek explanations from network leadership, particularly his mother, Joni Lamb. Jonathan and Susie Lamb alleged that their attempts to raise concerns about abuse allegations and the handling of finances were met with stonewalling rather than transparency. In videos posted to YouTube, they describe a breakdown in communication, stating that Joni Lamb declined to engage directly on certain issues and instead requested to speak with her granddaughter. These accounts, while deeply emotional, remain allegations, and Joni Lamb has consistently disputed wrongdoing. In her official statement, Joni Lamb emphasized that Daystar follows established governance structures and that personnel decisions, including Jonathan's dismissal, were made in accordance with internal policies. She has framed the situation as one involving discipline, boundaries, and organizational integrity, rather than retaliation. Joni Lamb has also underscored her commitment to Daystar's mission and to protecting the network from what she characterizes as misinformation and internal disruption. Adding to the complexity is the role of external authorities. Colleyville police have confirmed that an investigation connected to the allegations has been reopened, though no conclusions have been publicly announced. This development has intensified public interest while reinforcing the importance of due process and restraint in drawing conclusions. Meanwhile, the network itself appears to be experiencing turbulence. The departure of Ray Comfort as the 18th programmer to leave Daystar TV has raised eyebrows within the Christian media community. While not all departures are necessarily connected, the timing has fueled speculation about internal morale and trust. Media analysts note that faith-based networks, like secular ones, are increasingly held accountable by audiences who demand transparency and ethical leadership. The story also highlights a broader cultural shift. In an era where social media allows individuals to bypass traditional gatekeepers, internal disputes can rapidly become global conversations. Jonathan and Susie Lamb's use of online platforms has ensured that their perspective reaches millions directly, while Daystar's official channels present a contrasting narrative. The result is a polarized audience, each side convinced of its own version of truth. At its core, this controversy is not just about one family or one network. It reflects the growing tension between institutional authority and individual accountability, especially within organizations built on moral and spiritual trust. The Jonathan Lamb Daystar controversy represents a defining moment not only for the Lamb family but for Christian broadcasting as a whole. As allegations, statements, and investigations continue to unfold, the situation serves as a reminder that faith-based institutions are not immune to the challenges faced by all large organizations: leadership transitions, internal dissent, and the demand for transparency. For Jonathan Lamb, this chapter has transformed him from a relatively private figure into a central voice in a highly public dispute. Whether history ultimately views him as a whistleblower, a reformer, or a conflicted insider will depend on facts that are still emerging. For Joni Lamb, the crisis tests her leadership at a time when Daystar's credibility and unity are under intense scrutiny. Her responses and decisions in the coming months may shape the network's legacy for years to come. More broadly, the unfolding events raise critical questions for viewers and supporters of religious media. How should faith-based organizations balance forgiveness, accountability, and governance? What role should family relationships play, or not play, in leadership structures? And how can institutions rooted in spiritual values maintain trust in an age where silence is often interpreted as guilt? As investigations proceed and more information becomes available, one thing is certain: this story is far from over. For now, staying informed, discerning facts from allegations, and approaching the situation with both wisdom and empathy remain essential. In a media landscape hungry for truth, the Daystar situation stands as a powerful case study in how belief, leadership, and accountability intersect under the glare of public attention.